It's time for Show Me the Franchise.
With Thomas and Frederick. With Thomas and Frederick.
It's time for Show Me the Franchise.
With Thomas and Frederick. With Thomas and Frederick.
Welcome to Show Me the Franchise, the podcast that talks about franchises of all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, genres, and types. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Sadler, here as usual with the jolliest fellow that I know, Mr. Fred Dakin.
I was just thinking because, like, he does and Santa ho-ho-hos.
Yeah, he certainly does. So it's a very good fit of actor and character.
Yeah, I was trying to blend the ho into one thing, but it was kind of like a sack was being put over Santa while he was ho-ho-ho.
I see. So you went from like Home Improvement to...
I went from Santa to Home Improvement.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah. No, sorry, the other way around.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, who didn't ever try?
Kind of was a little Jabba at the end. I liked that.
What? Miki Tobacca Santa Claus.
Oh.
You know who does a really good job of the Hutt? Did you ever hear Bill Hader do it?
No, but I believe he does a good impression of Jabba the Hutt.
He
That doesn't surprise me.
He like really gets the deep bass, like Pizzi Bocata, or something like that.
I like that though.
Yeah, I mean it's got some steak on it. It's fun. Fred, of course, today we are talking about a franchise that has been around for a while now. We're going on 30 years that this has been in the ether, which is surprising to learn. The Santa Claus. Clause as in a clause you see in a contract and not necessarily the clause, although it is a fun play on words.
It is. It's like a document that lawyers, or it's a thing lawyers do.
Do you think it's a
clause?
You know what?
They have clauses.
I'll save the question I was about to ask because I think it's a good one to save for our guest to. It's going to ask about the whole idea that we're with Claus, but he's not a lawyer. He's a toy maker. Like I don't know. Let's introduce our guest, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Fred, you look perturbed.
Well, I also remember clauses grammar too, right?
Oh,
You
sure.
have independent clause.
Yeah. Is
Or
that's
dependent clause?
independent and dependent clause?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was terrible at grammar.
I feel like I'm being back in English class in high school right now.
That's why I'm bad at learning foreign languages. Is I'm bad at grammar. I need to learn grammar first. Participle.
I mean, that helps. Sorry, I guess it was like very eager and then just quieted down. But of course, this week we have Milwaukee-based comedian Rachel Glassford joining us here. Welcome to the show, Rachel.
Thank you so much for having me. My first time. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
We are excited to have you and to talk about a franchise, yes, that has a lot of joy associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
If not, always some very interesting topics that come with it too.
Yes. I would say there is like joy and nostalgia, and then a level of cringe that is at times unbearable.
Yes. Yes. I'm very curious to hear. I mean, maybe we could just jump right into it. What is your experience with the Santa Claus franchise?
Yes. So, I mean, I was like born in 89, and so I must have watched this as like a kiddo.
Sure.
But my current experience with it, shout out to any worriers, any overthinkers out there. Are you rewatching a television show at night before bed? And for me, that is the Santa Claus. I set a sleep timer and I watch on available on Disney Plus, non-spawn, the like first like 12 to 15 minutes of the Santa Claus. That is like become a forced like meditative sleep
Year round?
recording. Yeah. And that's why when I know, which my husband gives me a lot of grief about, that I will like watch holiday films year round, but especially like these, I just like rewatch these in like small chunks. And so that's where, I mean, I could have done this in July, but thrilled to be here in December when it is more seasonally appropriate.
Right. Would you describe yourself like as a Christmas fanatic, like in general?
So I would say, you know how there's like types of people in the world where like if your day-to-day existence maybe is like on the more rough go edge, because I work in public health.
Oh, sure.
Then the things I choose for entertainment are not horror thriller dramas.
Oh, sure.
So I'm choosing your Hallmark movies. the one where they don't even kiss at the end, but decide they're going to be married. Or, like movies like this, where it's just like so cheesy and cheery. And so I can't say Christmas fanatic. That feels wrong considering how little decor I have in my home, but I watch a lot of Christmas movies and I do watch them year round.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Honestly, come for me. Because, like, what are we doing? Being a human is hard. If watching the Santa Claus in June is fine for me, then that works for me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think I just wanted to get that sampling though of like, are you somebody who thinks about? Because I feel like that's you, Fred. Like, I feel like you are somebody who lives for the Christmas season.
I do, but I feel as I've gotten older, it's harder to maintain that Christmas spirit.
Mhm.
The world beats you down sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've learned that I do get kind of a holiday hangover with Halloween, with Christmas. And my thing is, if I jump the gun too early, and I want to jump that gun. I want to be in June. Like, I don't think I'm going to throw in, Santa Claus. I might do that. But my problem is I need to kind of have dates. And I usually have hard dates of like Thanksgiving. Right after Thanksgiving, the tree's going up.
Sure.
Did a little earlier this year because I was going to be traveling. I was going to be missing some of that quality tree time.
Right.
Yep.
And same with Halloween. I'm like, I gotta wait till I give myself the last week of September, which is still pretty generous compared to some people. Some people like, some people don't put up a dang tree until Christmas Eve.
I can't remember what celebrity just said this, but it was like, how long should a Christmas tree be up? And they were like 7 days.
What?
Like, you put it up on Christmas and then it's down by New Year.
Oh, we need to know.
That's
what
not-
that is. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll have to refer back to my
If
memory
someone
on that.
else is doing the work, Mr. Celebrity or Mrs. Celebrity, but that was a lot of work to put those lights in that tree up and make sure the ornaments don't fall off when the cats attack. Like,
Yeah.
I'm keeping that shit up till like mid-January.
Oh, as long as the tree lasts for me. Because, like, it's Wisconsin. It's dark at 4 p.m. Like, the weather stinks.
Mhm.
It feels like negative 30 degrees today
Yeah.
or something. I'm like, if I want to look at some warm lights on a tree, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm spending my December.
Are you a real tree person or a fake tree?
I am. And
Nice.
we get our tree typically like right after Thanksgiving or the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And it is a mess. I want to be completely clear.
Oh, yeah.
It is messy every day.
Yeah.
I have 2 dogs, and like last year, I realized they're chewing on the low branches, which is why even when I swept, there's just more needles everywhere every day.
Mhm.
I think I've solved that problem, but I do sort of consider it like a parallel to life, where I'm just like, well, life is a mess. And so if I'm going to enjoy the scent of a real tree and like take care of recycling it and everything, it's like, well, I'll just put up with brushing needles off my floor every day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I like the idea of a real tree. I think right now that I'm in like an apartment, like I'm like, I don't know that I can do a real tree. But I one day I'm like, when I have my own house, I'm like, I'm gonna finally do it and see how much of a pain in the ass it is again. And because my
yeah.
parents always had a real tree growing up, and then finally they got to the point where when my sister and I had moved out many years ago now, but they were like, we're just doing a fake. Like, we don't want to have to go through the whole hassle of going out and getting one. They just bring up, it's already got the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, nice fake tree, but I'm like, maybe the real one, the scent of it might bring me back.
I mean, because my parents this year just transitioned to a fake tree for the first time, and they're in their late 60s. And a part of why they did that is because they traveled over Thanksgiving, and then they got it and put it up like before they left, so it was up upon their return. And I'm just like, boo. Like, just like deal with the needles all over your car, and you have to like pick it up from a lot. I don't know. It's a whole experience, which I find very
Yeah, my mom just switched to the fake tree, but I give it, and her fake tree is huge.
Oh, really?
And like the whole thing, I was like, oh, fake tree is probably better because I don't need my, I won't put the age out there for her, but I don't want my mom who lives by herself to be, moving a real tree. Although this fake tree is like up to the ceiling and like it's still scary to put up. and decorate.
Oh,
Beautiful tree. But I actually did fake trees or real trees all through my life, and then even in college, which was the worst idea because I lived in like a crappy River West apartment that was pretty much like ready to be set on fire at any moment. Like I always brag my rent for our 2-bedroom place was $490 a month.
Wow.
And yeah, because it was a fire hazard, like lighting candles, I was always nervous, but I would bring up a spruce. You know, it
Ooh.
smells so good, but those leaves would be going. No, it was a Scotch pine,
Mm.
which smells like it's one of the best smelling trees, but it is the biggest shedder for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is bad. So I just had like tree shit coming from the front door all the way upstairs to the place, everywhere. Just a little kindling for my little house fire that thank God never happened.
Yeah, no
Everybody
kidding.
make sure you have your fire blankets and your fire extinguishers.
Yeah. Or if you're on the upstairs, a fire ladder is
That's
also very
right. I've got
important.
one of those.
Before we, we got to revere it back to the Santa Claus, but I will say we did have a small fire in the place, and we went and grabbed the fire extinguisher and we gave it a squeeze, and this like sickly yellow like dribble came out the front of it.
Expired?
Oh, it was expired. You know,
That's
like, I was like
terrible.
20. I wasn't thinking about that.
Of
Yeah.
course, this is where you come to show me the franchise for your fire safety tips. Check
Mhm.
those expiration dates
Yes,
on your fire
Definitely.
safety
Yeah.
I was shooting lit bow and arrows in the house, but like
Yeah.
it was like little, like it was like
Lit
a
bow and
toy.
arrow.
It was like a toy bow and arrow, like small, and I was just putting a cotton ball on the end and lighting it on fire and just shooting it in the
Oh, you're
house.
for real, you were doing this.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
It's like Kevin Costner and Robin Hood.
Really living out a.
I'm so
dream.
used to Fred talking out of his ass that I was just like, oh sure, yeah, lighting fire like arrows. No, you crazy.
I'll look for the video. We can
Oh,
add
yeah,
it to the
good, please.
social.
Oh my
Please
God,
share.
That's incredible. Yeah, I'm much too risk averse to be doing that. I'm watching the Santa Claus in June.
Just having like a popsicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll also watch the movies then year round, basically. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I'm like watching them in small chunks. I'm also someone who does like puzzles. And so like these kinds of movies, like these rewatches are just so easy.
Yeah.
Just like have them on in the background.
Right. Just basically kind of like comfort food for you, right?
Yeah. So that's I would say my relationship to the Santa Claus.
Klaus. Like the word Klaus. It is interesting because I was trying to remember. I think I saw the first movie in theaters, and it might have been one of my first movie experiences.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a history.
You were saying this last night about Muppets Christmas Carol too.
So I mean, because it's around the same time, right?
Okay.
Okay. So I mean, and yeah, you're already out of yourself. Born in '89. I was born in '87.
A cool kid. I don't know. I have no need to be embarrassed about that.
But like, I don't-
90s Gen Z.
yeah, that's all of us. You are a guy. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're
But
giving us a Gen Z stare right now.
Yeah. Skibbity.
you don't qualify as Gen Z though.
Yeah,
Yeah. You are millennial.
I'm allowed to be whatever I want to be.
I suppose you identify as whatever you want to be.
Yeah. What I am.
I won't fight you.
Thank you.
Fred, don't let anyone change who you are. That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Thank you.
Unless it's that you put on a suit and then you become Santa. Then you should maybe embrace that change.
Oh yeah, I think I'd be good at it.
I think so. And we just got to wait for Santa to fall off a roof. Basically,
That's
all.
right.
Now I'm looking around the studio and I'm seeing maybe a jacket that if something were to happen to the owner, maybe I might become Santa Claus.
Yeah,
That is true. I did borrow a Santa jacket. And I am not the rightful owner, though.
Oh,
And the individual is still alive. Thank
Well-
you, Mike Kauth.
oh.
We wish you luck on the 24th.
Yeah.
With your new role coming here. Although Tim Allen might be a little upset by the
Yeah.
fact that a woman would be Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, season 3 of the series, like, gets all into gender issues. Who knows?
Oh my gosh, we got to talk about a lot of stuff. Listen, there is so much to talk about with this franchise too.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you even like resonate. It's just like I was saying. Like I saw this right when it came out. Like so, either it was in the theater. I'm like, 90-ish% sure I did see it. I definitely saw the second one in theaters too.
I saw the second one in theaters.
And
Wait, oh, I didn't even know this existed in theaters. Like, because in my head, it's like just a straight to TV
oh yeah.
or something that I've seen on TV.
It was like one of those situations though. So I was in high school, I think, by that point. We're at 2002. Yeah. So I think it was like my freshman year or something like that. And I remember we had gone to see, okay, 2002. It was probably The Ring 2, maybe.
Scary.
And being the
Rings.
Rings, that might be it. Yeah. Was that what it's called?
I think it's rings. I never saw it, but I think it's rings.
I think you're right.
plural.
Oh,
So
spooky.
I remember that one for sure. We went to see Rings because obviously being kids. That's
Yeah,
what
you're
we
like,
see.
this is all we can do.
Right.
Mhm.
But then we were like, we should chase this with something a little more fun. And we,
Oh, yeah.
sneaky teens, we snuck into another movie.
Whoa.
And we snuck into
Yeah.
Santa Claus 2.
I think
Oh.
Tim Allen wouldn't like that either.
Oh, this is
Oh.
also what a before era, like before seats are all assigned now.
Oh, yeah.
You can't
Oh,
get
yeah.
away with that anymore.
You could just sit
Wherever you
wherever.
want.
And then they're only coming to see, do you have a ticket for that movie, not where your seat is.
Right.
Yeah.
Once you're in, you're in. Oh.
So, but I do remember that was the last time I had seen that movie until this like past week.
Wow,
So,
we've taken you on a journey with it.
oh yeah. And I missed 3 because I think it was not the right time for me at that point.
Fair. That's okay.
But oh my gosh, it just I was like how little I memory hold,
Mm-hmm.
or just how much I memory hold of the second one. All I remembered was Robot Santa Claus and that there was Mrs. Claus. And there's a lot to be said about that one.
Yeah. Which, and that actress is actually like in other things, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm again not like much of a TV movie watcher. I'm like kind of new to that now.
Mhm.
But so she was in Lost?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Big
that's
role.
famous,
Mm.
right? I mean, the series is famous, but she was, I imagine, a moderately meaningful role in it.
Yeah. Because she came in a little bit later too.
Oh, not as cool.
Yeah. 'Cause you
Yeah.
watched all of Lost now, right?
Pretty recently too, and she comes in like season 2, season 3, and then
Yeah.
is pretty pivotal for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
That's all I know her from this and the Santa Claus franchise.
Yeah.
Which I do feel like Lost has enough cred that like whenever I see Daniel Day Kim show up in something, I'm like
Oh man.
Mm.
Lost. He's in Lost. Especially even like K-pop Demon Hunters, which you watched recently too.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's his voice. And his wife on the show also was in that movie too. And I'm like, it's a Lost reunion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's go. But all this to say, that was maybe so. I mean, feel like I watched Santa Claus up until that point, and then it was a very sparing revisit between the time I'd seen the first one and then the time of like watching it for this podcast. So I had a first level experience with 3. I have some thoughts. I watched the first
Not wait.
couple episodes of the TV series. I
Of
have-
season 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait a minute. How many seasons are there?
There's only
2.
2 seasons. The first one has a real Jeff Bezos tilt
Uh-huh.
about like Amazon and package delivery.
Yeah, we got to talk about Calpen.
Yeah. But then the second season is like a very strange sort of like war amongst like these historical like challenges between elves and gnomes. Right? I mean, like that's a pretty
I didn't finish it. I'm going to probably before the year's over. I got like halfway through, and it was just time constraint. I did do something kind of adjacent.
Adjacent.
You
Adjacent to
see?
it.
Adjacent, you see? So I decided to crank it. By that I mean I watched Christmas with the Cranks because I figured
Yes.
I'd wanted a Tim Allen Santa Claus vibe. That was
Got
what I did instead of finish Santa Claus 2 because I wanted a little taste of the different Tim Allen Christmas.
Yes. And Christmas with the Cranks came out like do you have a memory about like where?
I think it's
the
in between
timeline?
2 and 3.
Okay.
Mhm.
Written by John Grisham
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
or based off a book by John
I think
Grisham.
I had read that book and I have seen that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this TV series, I will say, because like when I first talked to Fred about like, yeah, this is a franchise I watch a lot. There's probably only one other thing that I could ever talk about to this level of depth. But then he was like, oh, well, it'll include the TV series. And I was like, boo. Because
wow.
they jumped the shark so much in the
Okay.
TV series, right? Like by comparison, you watched at least the first couple episodes of season 1. Like just the what they're punching for jokes are like so like of the era when it was published. Like we're like boo women and then like
and just mixed in like kids bop musical numbers.
Yes,
which
yes,
was
yes,
never
yes,
like
yes.
a thing.
no,
Really.
no, 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 no. Yeah, this was not like a musical movie.
Yeah.
I think we pegged down. We'll probably talk about later what's cooking in the Santa Claus and what's not cooking.
And I think we can talk about that from the franchise as a whole.
Right.
Because, man, there's. Well, we'll get into this too, but I feel like there is definitely elements of these movies that I'm like, this is good, solid stuff.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, you can almost see where Disney stepped in and where it's like, we got to do more of this.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, but did we need to? It's like, and that's a big question I'll have for you guys, which we'll talk about in a second. Of just like, who is this really for? Is this for kids or is this for somebody else? Because I think you could ask different people involved with this project and get different answers on
Mhm.
who they had in mind when they were making this.
Yeah, that's a good point because there's a number of like films that may be marketed to kids, but then have like definite beats and comedy for the adults that are taking the
Oh,
kids
yeah.
to those films. Yeah.
For sure. Which I think you have other things like Shrek that have maybe a
Mhm.
little bit better balance,
Mhm.
but it'll be worth discussion. Before we get into that, Fred, what is your experience with the Santa Claus? Lest we.
Oh, I will
that.
make it short and sweet.
Yes.
I went to my aunt's. We would alternate Christmases between my parents' house and my aunt's house when I was little.
Mhm.
This is my aunt's house here. Get there Christmas Eve evening. She goes, kids upstairs. They're watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go upstairs? I'm like, okay.
Get
I
away
go
from us. We're
upstairs.
stressed.
Right.
Put on a movie. It's Tim Allen. I know who he is. I guess from Home Improvement. Probably because being a Toy Story fan. I don't know where the time is here with
Let me
this.
look at that. I think they are very, very close.
I knew who Tim Allen was at least.
Mhm.
And I just get the Santa Claus. Like, I have no pretext. I don't know what it is. It's Christmas Eve. I go up and watch this movie, and it blew my little mind. I think I eventually got it on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And the first movie is like, it's not in my how did the tiers work, Tom?
The tiers of
Is it S tier?
yeah,
What's after that?
A.
It's probably an A tier for me.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have my S tier Christmas movies. This is like at the top of A tier, the first one for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not indicative of the actual quality of the film, but that's just what it means to me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
always
yeah.
hits. I'm nostalgic for it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw 2 in theaters, 3 I fell off of. And then I was day one on the Disney Plus show because I knew it was going to be bonkers. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's me.
November 11th, 1994 was the release date for Santa Claus.
So a
1.
year.
Oh, 1984. Yeah.
Yep. November 22nd, 1995 was Toy Story.
Oh.
So
Or I probably just, but as you know, I didn't watch much TV, but maybe I absorbed some Home Improvement at the
Mhm.
time or something.
I think that's probably because that was the thing I think people knew about Tim Allen
Yes.
coming into
Mhm.
this. He hadn't really done any movies before this.
I'm not
don't
sure,
think
but like
so.
again, as a kid, like just aging myself a million years. But like there were VHS stores, you know, like your Blockbuster adjacent.
Right.
I lived in a small rural town, so it was not a Blockbuster. It was
You
a
grew up in
movie
a small
gallery.
town, Rachel?
Boy, did I, because this is Wisconsin and that's most of the state. Yeah, we
You're
were
taking Fred's bit right now.
Uh-oh.
I grew up in a small town, okay? There's only room for one of us. No, it's fine.
Oh.
There's a lot of small towns in this
There's a-
great place we call America, you know?
Uh-oh, Fred's putting on his like political candidate.
I have the hands up.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, because then he was in like all kinds of other like movies after Home Improvement.
Oh yeah.
I feel like not straight to VHS, I'm sure they weren't, but like I can just picture those VHS box covers.
Yes.
And then I'll Be Home for Christmas is another holiday movie that stars one of the
JTT.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas from
Yeah.
Home Improvement as well. So like they sort of went on and I think did a couple movies too
yeah.
as part of his.
That's a
success.
movie I like. I like that JTT movie.
That is a good one. That would be that and like Spirited, which is produced by Apple TV with Will Ferrell.
I need to watch that again.
Oh,
I watched it and I liked it.
yeah. I mean, I'm a sucker for like, whoa, a big dance number of
Mhm.
clearly professional dancers, a thing I can't do at all. Like those are probably movies that I savor to like watch, and then these are like in nice in the background.
Guys,
Yeah.
did you watch the Matilda musical?
Yes.
Okay.
And I had not like followed the music before that. and
Same.
Very cool. Very
I'm
good,
just saying
very
those
impressive.
dance numbers. Oof.
Yeah. And they're children.
Yes.
You're even more like, what?
So I did just look it up and I did confirm
Mhm.
this is like his first big movie.
Right.
The only
Wow.
credits he had before that were something called Tropical Snow, which I've never heard of. He was
Mm-mm.
a baggage handler.
Mhm.
And then he played himself or Tim Taylor on a TGIF like promo something or other.
Okay.
So Santa Claus is the first like movie credit he has.
Wow.
It's kind of incredible. You think about the success that this movie had.
Mhm.
Is it like a Hocus Pocus though, where like was it successful when it first came out?
It made a decent amount of money. I think it actually did like make quite a bit of money on it. It's
Okay, I'm just curious because sometimes that happens too.
Mhm.
Where like I think that is some of the lore with Hocus Pocus is when it first came out, everyone was like, "This is a clown joke," like, and did not enjoy it. And then over
Yeah.
time, it has become this cult classic, which also ended up with a Disney Plus TV series.
Yeah. We'll talk about it, but yeah, I mean, yes, we could talk about the box office because I mean, this
I'm
is maybe
curious.
the proof positive of this movie. This movie had a $22 million budget. How much money do you think it made? If you had to guess.
More than that, I would say
Like total?
Yeah.
I know it's
double at least.
clearing a hundo.
Wow,
136. 186. $200 million.
Just about $190 million.
Wow.
So yeah, this was a smash.
Oh my
Like
god.
Mhm.
I
With
am
a
actually
TV actor.
right.
No, but before he even was like
Well, I'm
really,
saying, like, yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, that's it's a worldwide gross, but still
Yeah.
to make 190 million worldwide when it's $20 million, I'm honestly surprised it took them as long as it did to make a sequel. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's something that we should maybe jump into is, and not just the production of the first one, but
Mm.
why this series has resonated, right? And like maybe why that even first movie resonated with people everywhere. Why do you guys think, like, if you had to really boil it down?
I mean, even when he's like reading the story to his son, like in one of the really early scenes, the
Mm.
son is like questioning about Santa, and he says, like, closes the book, and it's just like, sometimes believing in something means you just believe in it.
Yeah.
And I do think that resonates with like kids and this sort of like Christmas spirit season about like believing in something that you can't see. And I do think there's like an element of that as adults that is meaningful to like remind ourselves of sometimes we can't see what we're working towards. Like that future hasn't been paved for us yet,
Mhm.
but it doesn't mean that we can't create that. And so I think that's like a little bit of what resonates. And then it's just very entertaining. I find the comedic writing and the cuts and things of the movie like very just easy to follow. Like
Mhm.
the beats what you talked about in the second one, there's like the robot Santa, the cuts between like him losing his Santa features and trying to find a wife to like the robot militant Santa is like very formulaic in like a comedy way too.
Yeah. Yeah. Fascist Santa.
Yeah, I didn't want to just drop the word fascism on your podcast, but yes.
we can get it. Let's call it what it is.
I
Right?
mean, it is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's very much dictating who is naughty and who's nice.
Yes.
But I feel like if you watch, like, the promos where they're promoting the movie, he's probably like, that other Santa has some good ideas, though.
Oh, and this is definitely an aside, but is Tim Allen a comedian or he's an actor?
How
He
he
is a
started
comedian.
as a stand-up
Mhm.
Okay.
/ drug runner.
Yep.
Because that was something too with like working with Martin Short in the third, and then I can't remember where. Like I can't pull enough details to like remember it, but like with the resurgence of the TV series, it's like at the root of how he functions, he's a comedian. And like I think you can see that from like the first movie through the series as it exists.
And I would argue that like it loses it as it goes, but that is still there. That his sensibility as a 90s, 80s comedian is really injected in the first one. And I think that's why the first one works is it goes down like a 90s sitcom in a sense, like a bigger budget with a bigger story, but the humor and relationships are very sitcom-y.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that adds a layer of comfort to the movie. Then you add a layer of Christmas comfort to the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a nice layer cake of deliciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
No, you.
Oh, just that, like, because the scene in the first one, he's like talking to his doctor, and then he's like slaps this clearly like fake huge belly while he's like sitting on the doctor's table to be like, does this look like a few pounds to you? You know, there's this like physical comedy to what he's doing, and it's so fast. Like, when we're talking about actors and everything, of course, the first one, like, really, it's him like leading the whole thing. His young son, that actor, is in it, but I mean, a small percentage compared to like following the storyline of this main like guy.
Yeah. And I think something that is very fascinating to me, if you even want to get into like the wider dynamic, and I can't think of how many movies before this really even tackled this other than like really like serious dramas, but it's a broken family over the holidays trying to find like unity over something, right? And it's like here he is, a single dad trying to do his best and just being a complete like failure. You know, he screws up dinner, he screws up everything. And it's like kind of a lot of the through line of the first two movies is just him kind of like creating this new sense of like family for him and his son and kind of like connecting with him over something, which is probably a very relatable thing for people who had never really seen that before, right? It's like, or, you know, the struggles of being in like, you know, working with your ex-wife and like having to deal with the other dad, the stepdad,
who you hate.
right? And who's just a total pill. Like,
Yeah.
It's a very different movie if you were to like Rashomon watch it from the perspective of his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And what's going on, because that is frightening if you know you have the context of like Santa Claus in her head isn't real.
Right.
And all these things are happening. Your son's being taken away at times, and your husband's like ex-husband saying that he's Santa.
Yeah, that is the wildest part. Like looking back as an adult, like trying to like just imagine like, oh my God, because her son leaves for like weeks, like leaves with Tim Allen's character right after Thanksgiving, like essentially to like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Like how horrifying
Yeah.
to like have your child be like gone away supposedly at the North Pole. But no, I do have to mention this because otherwise I will forget it. But this is just a sign to me about how much I have like watched these movies. There's a series on Amazon called Big Little Lies, which is based off of a book series. And the woman's voice, the matriarch in that show, I like recognized it. And I was like, where the heck do I recognize it from? It's the wife in the first, or the ex-wife of the Santa Claus.
Sure.
With the like her bob and everything. But I had to look up like eventually figured out that her aged however many years face and like different hair and makeup, that it was the same actress, and she like really has not done much since, or like, you know, it's like the Santa Claus and now Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
So
Wendy
funny.
Crewson you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I just couldn't believe that, like from voice alone, because she looks nothing the same.
No, even in the second movie, I was like, is that the same actress? And it's just because she has that 90s like short hair like going on, and I was like, wow, when she grows out, she looks completely different, and no bangs. That's the other thing too.
Yeah. It was a real Posh Spice kind of like sharp bob cut.
I was enjoying the vibes of the mom on this rewatch.
Oh, is that right? you Fred, we'll have to dive into some lore here of just you getting on those the single mom train.
I said when I was little watching Wishbone, I had a big crush on the kid's mom in Wishbone, because like I just, you know, she just seemed lonely, you know, and seemed like such a good mom.
Yeah.
Hey, trying her best.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like looking at Neil over here, and I'm like, move over.
Yeah.
That's what 10-year-old me saying.
Man, that's so funny with those sweaters. Whoa.
Oh,
Oh my god, the sweaters! Just him commenting on the sweaters is such a funny gag in the
Mhm.
first movie that
hmm
I do feel like we lose a little bit of that with each successive entry, and I am like,
Yeah.
I needed more of like less Neil being the leading the fucking yoga class, and more of him
Mhm.
just being the this fucking guy wearing that like.
Yeah.
It's been a different garment every time. Like he's trying to like make like turtlenecks work.
Or fun
Yes, like,
socks.
Getting fun socks.
yeah, yeah.
That people do go through that phase.
I mean,
But yeah, I think you're right that probably the first one, like, it's so interesting to have the Scott Calvin, right? Like
mhm.
be below, like the power dynamic is not there. He's floundering and failing.
Yeah.
His ex-wife is with a doctor.
Yeah.
His son is pulling away from him, you know, and then like he gets this opportunity from supposedly murdering Santa by having him fall off his roof to like rebuild these relationships. That's probably a big part of why I enjoyed too, because I really like stories with relationships, as well as some of that like physical comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, and it's you can see that was the structure almost they were going for in that first one. Because I think you even said it, Fred. And I mean, we can kind of talk about too, like how this even got made. Not that this is how did this get made? That's a different podcast. But it is a lot of like those family themes that I think really drive the first two. There's still that element in three, but you lose a lot of it where
Yeah.
it's less the central focus. And I do think, not to say, I mean, I don't know if you have a lot of love for three or not, but it's a weaker movie because of that.
Yeah, I think so. I have to name this again because I just like draw these facts because I love this franchise so much. But
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper, and it was on a flight with his daughter, younger daughter, and they saw Martin Short on the plane, and she like they had to get a photo with him because the Santa Claus 3 was her favorite movie.
Oh, that's
So it was
fun.
just like such a funny like when that story came out online, you're like, what? But I do think like you're saying the Santa Claus 3, which the escape clause stars Martin Short, it ends up being a lot more of like a buddy comedy, or the where the laughs are shared at the just exasperation of this Jack Frost character played by Martin Short,
Yeah.
instead of like the family dynamic. And you, I think it might be in your notes. So if I'm giving this away, like we can cut it.
Go
But
for it.
I think I was reading a little bit more too about like how the second one got made. And I think originally the second one was going to be the escape clause. And then it like widened out and they made the second one be about finding a wife. And then the third being about essentially like overcommitting to work and then trying to like balance that with your family, which I think people do experience that, but it's not as like sweet of a relief when that movie ends, because we all still like navigate those problems. But like, well,
Right.
Dad's gone for 24 hours delivering presents.
Yeah.
Jungle to Jungle reunion.
Who's in Jungle to Jungle?
Martin Short.
Is he?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember that movie at all.
I guess you don't.
I was actually gonna ask this real quick. Well, yeah, maybe we could save it when we talk about three. But I was like, what is Martin Short best known for? What's his best known movie?
Oh, well, obviously for
Clifford.
me, it is the Santa Claus 3.
Yeah. Clifford, yeah, maybe.
And-
Father of the Bride.
Oh, yeah.
People love that.
Well, and obviously the more recent series he's been in is Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, which he's fantastic in.
Yeah. Oh gosh, but I don't know. Because he was in
Arrested Development.
I love that. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about like how this franchise got in production here.
Mhm.
So the script was based on a spec script by Steve Rudnick and Leo Benvenuti. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I also hope they got very rich.
Yeah. I think they might have.
Might have some
I hope
coins
based on the
bouncing
million-
around their checking account.
Right?
Yeah. So it was in November of 1992. It was announced that Hollywood Pictures had acquired the script as a potential starring vehicle for Tim Allen right away. So probably building off of the first two seasons of Home Improvement, some success going on there.
Mm.
The film was originally going to be released under Hollywood Pictures banner, but following positive test screenings among children, it was transferred to Walt Disney Pictures. So
Mm.
the film was shot in Raleigh Studios in Hollywood, California, and on location in the Greater Toronto area, which you can definitely hear those accents in some of the extras.
Mhm.
Just, I think it's even a woman at Denny's, the waitress.
Yeah,
I was
Judy.
Yeah, yeah,
Plain milk's fine.
yeah. Great.
That's a pretty good impression of the little kid. I gotta
Yeah.
say. I mean, that's just a line that rattles around my head for some reason.
Looks fine.
Yeah,
Not-
that was good.
It's not. You want osobuku, Charlie?
Which this watch I did like pick up. I'm like, I know what that is now.
All right, you've
I-
grown.
I was like, I don't know what he's saying before. I do like the one good bit there is like the burnt the turkey and the other guy like raises his hand and he
Yeah.
has it wrapped up. Like
Yeah.
that's just a solid joke.
It's just well.
It's again also like so funny because in that scene they walk into the Denny's. It's clearly a huge group of men visiting
Yeah.
from another country,
right.
loudly bantering over their Denny's, and then she pulls him into the back room that is 3 or 4 tables of sad dads,
Yeah.
young children,
Mhm.
with varying amounts of bandages.
I do also love before that there is a good bit of it's like the beautiful pan of all the nice food
Mhm.
and you don't realize it's the TV.
Yeah.
And then it pans out, and then you hear a working fire extinguisher
Mhm.
blowing out the turkey.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's a good bit.
It is a great.
We got to pick the good bits now while we're in the first movie.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I mean, the visual gags in this movie
Mm.
do work really well. I mean, we can still cover it, but the reindeer that were used in the film were all from the Toronto Zoo. Fun fact.
I
Mhm.
do love that scene too, where they're like trotting behind him on the zoo path after they like see the polar bear, and he asks Charlie not to talk about like
Mm-mm.
that he's Santa anymore.
Yeah.
yeah,
Real reindeer always better in a Christmas movie
Oh,
versus other situations.
We'll talk about the reindeer in the sequel. That is maybe my biggest gripe. Of
in
it.
number 2,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a lot of love for Comet and because man, I got
No. He's just like what grouchy puppet or like a sort of a numbing puppet robot caricature, and eats too much candy and gets fat
yeah.
and can't fly.
Because I think it's funny in this movie when he just grunts at him and he kind of gets like that.
Mhm.
But then he starts like talking in the sequel. And I was like, I think I even said it out loud to my wife. I was like, oh my God, I hate that choice.
yeah.
And then you have the stupid one, whatever his name is, Chet or whatever.
Chat in number 3, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
I would say not needed.
I don't know why these movies, I think it's a cool move when you're like, we're not doing Rudolph. But I feel if you're 3 movies in, backdoor that Rudolph story in there. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, not to jump ahead of, Show Me franchise. I would have
leave it for sure.
I would have forgotten.
We'll bury it again. Speaking of Show Me the Franchise, do we want to talk about other casting possibilities now? Or do you wanna stay there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Do you have stuff that comes to mind for you?
Well,
Frank?
I just know you've got
Well,
it.
there were actual people.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
offer.
I
I can.
wanna-
You save anybody who you would have liked to see
You're right.
based on what you hear.
Yeah.
here, Okay.
Mhm.
Bill Murray and Chevy Chase were both offered the role of Scott Calvin, but both turned it down. Chevy Chase declined due to scheduling conflicts. It's probably a blessing in disguise.
Mhm.
If there's one person who probably would have been worse than Tim Allen and over the time,
Over the time. Yeah. At
Yeah.
the time, I think it would have been fine.
yeah. But I feel like now I feel people would be, well, I mean, everyone loves Christmas Vacation. They'll
But
still,
That's what I'm
What was-
picturing.
National Lampoon like family, because wasn't it?
89, 88.
yeah.
I think it would be tough to pivot a leading man dad in a like family movie like that to be like, no, he's Scott Calvin in this Christmas thing. So I am grateful that that went the way that it did.
Sort of the Bill Murray thing of
With
just being
Scrooge.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he turned it down. He said, "I did Scrooge. I don't want to do another Hollywood theme movie or holiday theme movie." Which is the right move on his part, and I think Scrooge has gotten better over time.
Mhm.
Or at least I like it a lot more now than I
I
ever
gotta
did.
need to rewatch that.
I only watched it the first time I think last year, and so it held up fine from my memory a year later.
Yeah, I think I like that it is such a time capsule
Mhm.
of a movie now, because no TV studio probably works like that at all. Mostly with like, well, because it's all about streaming now, right?
Right.
And we're gonna talk about that with the Santa Claus is Santa Claus is. Tom Selleck, Robin Williams, Tom Hanks, and Mel Gibson were also considered for the role. Could you guys imagine Mel Gibson?
I don't know, those crazy eyes behind that sleigh.
I cannot.
I do think Tom Hanks would have been a very interesting choice
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
He can give you overworked dad who's not paying enough attention and then turns sweet. That's like Robin. I see Robin Williams not wanting to do it because of he kind of got like dinged on hook for doing that. People don't like unfun Robin Williams,
Yeah.
and it's a very similar like trajectory of a character.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Plus,
Spell?
this is the year after Mrs. Doubtfire, so he also
Oh.
kind of did like I
Mhm.
did the single dad needing to win back his children.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
physical comedy of Mrs. Doubtfire is like, it's like, oh, that's
Pretty great.
perfection.
For the roles of Neil, or for the role of Laura Miller,
hmm
yes,
I'm looking at it. So,
yeah,
well, I was just gonna say the first one on here for Neil,
Mhm.
Jeff Daniels,
yeah.
would have been a good Scott Calvin. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Daniels would have been a very interesting choice. Stanley Tucci, which
As Neil would be pretty great.
It would be
It would be a
good.
different character though.
Yeah, because there's no Stanley Tucci that I don't love.
mm,
And Neil is like a lovable butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like you don't feel too bad because he's the right amount of confident to not be arrogant. He's just like moving through the world trying his best in the ugliest sweaters imaginable.
yeah,
Yeah, it would have to be a rewrite of the character, and you'd have to be like Stanley Tucci goes to Italy, but cranked up to like a nuisance.
yeah.
You know, where it's like, oh, this is the new guy, like who's with my wife now, and he's like just talking about wine and super particular and like this and that. So
Yeah,
like,
just
that
have
would be
too
the
much love.
vibe.
Yeah, I have too much love for Stanley Tucci, so I can't imagine disliking him.
He's
Like,
almost got to be like his conclave character or something like that.
yeah, yeah,
where he's
exactly.
Like, he's like, I'm not a tool, but he kind of is.
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Christopher McDonald would have been great.
I think he's too douchey. Like he would play it too douchey. The problem with him and the next guy, Bradley Whitford, were also considered. I mean, I think obviously both Adam Sandler villains now, but like
Mm-hmm.
they play such snobby assholes. I don't think they're likable. That's the problem.
Mhm.
I think Doofus is the better choice, and that's what Judge Reinhold can bring.
Yes,
Mhm.
right. Because I'm not to say bad of any Christopher McDonald, Bradley Whitford, or them, but I'm just like, I think they almost hit that note too hard, where there's no redeeming quality.
Christopher McDonald would be kind of bringing a little bit of the Hartman and Jingle All the Way energy.
Yeah, which just freshly watched.
Mm-hmm.
For Laura Miller, though, we had Patricia Richardson, who is the
Oh,
mom on Home
yeah.
Improvement.
Tim.
Tim. And then we also had, I don't know why there's so many Patricias. Patricia Clarkson, Patricia Heaton.
And that's the mom from Ray Romano. From Everybody Loves Raymond. Pretty sure Patricia Eaton is.
Patricia Heaton is that?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I
know my Patricias.
yeah, that is her. I'm like, who's Patricia Clarkson? Why does that name ring a bell?
Mhm.
I'm gonna click on it.
She is from
Oh, yeah.
she's one of those people you would recognize, but she doesn't have like a one movie or show that you would really know her from. She's just got a good career. God, I don't even know what like the thing is.
No, I saw her face and I'm like, oh, I recognize this person. And then I'm looking at the movies they're in. I'm like, I guess the big thing is she was in 6 Feet Under.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good
No,
one. Yeah.
That's doing anything
Yes,
for
yes,
you.
yes.
And then Kate Burton, who is Ellis Gray in Grey's Anatomy. Is that Gray her mom?
Oh, must be. Right?
Maybe.
It sounds like it.
Here, I'll show you.
It's been many years. Yes.
Let me get a look at that.
It's been many years since I've seen
Yeah.
that Grey's Anatomy.
I've never seen a Grey's Anatomy.
You never watched a single episode?
I've been thinking about doing an ER Grays.
Yeah.
No.
Would recommend. I mean, it is a commitment though, because there are a lot of seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
People are like, you gotta watch The Pit. I'm like, I gotta do
Yeah,
the
you're
old.
like-
I gotta get old with it for
Yeah.
a bit.
It'll be there for you. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah. Just is there anybody in that list though of all those people that you were like, oh, this would have been a better choice?
It's funny, nothing comes to me that would be like a better choice, but I am glad that it was not the actress that played his wife on Home Improvement.
Yeah.
I
That's
can,
just too much.
I can just appreciate the distance of that story, you know, like so that it's not too muddled. Because that happens too when you like really attach to an actor with a specific character and then you see them in something else and it's like,
Well, and plus, then I think there's too much of a distraction of like, well, this isn't the dynamic that they have on the show, like,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, well, why aren't they just like figuring this out?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's something too about I know we already moved past sort of the Scott Calvin of it all, but like with Tom Hanks, like I don't know, I just like my memories of Tom Hanks is in so much of like You've Got Mail or these like storylines. What is it? Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
Like he's not gritty and like unlikable. And Tim Allen immediately, you're like, this guy's
Yeah.
got edge. Like because the very first jokes he's making in his speech at the holiday party is about their family not being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to describe the Tim Allen thing is kind of like he's kind of an asshole. But as a kid, I was like, yum yum yum, this tastes good. He's a smart aleck, as the grannies would say.
Oh yeah, good.
You know, that's the thing I think you like. He's kind of like the kid in the classroom, like making the like little smart ass jokes. I would say I would point to like Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own, though.
Oh yeah.
I'm not, but I still agree with you. I think what happened is the best, even in regards to those three characters. The one thing that I don't get is where's this like Long Island Jersey kid coming from? And you really see it in the Santa Claus too.
Where
That is not the spawn of these two. He's like, yo, my dad, you know, he's Santa Claus. He's kind of like a Ralph Macchio type.
yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about his son Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. Like that is not that's not a Wendy and Tim making.
Yeah.
Because in the mom actress, she's from Canada, I think.
I think
Originally, because when I was like looking up from Big Little Lies, being like, why do I recognize this voice? Yeah. So that is a funny part too about like, so the first movie came out and it sounded like the second movie came out like rapidly 1 year later, but you can tell all that time has passed because the kid is so much older.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's definitely not a single year.
I know we said maybe we should pocket it, but I don't want to forget. Could Steve Martin have done this? That's a guy who can give you the soft and the hard.
The only problem
Man,
I
like how
have
said
with
that.
Steve Martin is I feel like he always, because he went gray young, like it just always looks like he's almost too old. And I think it would have been too on the nose for him to be Santa, right? Like,
Yeah.
He wouldn't look good as Santa. That's the thing. Tim Allen looked good as Santa.
yeah, he does.
Mhm.
Like that's the thing I haven't been picturing till just now is throw the Santa look on these guys. How's that looking? And it's like Tom Hanks, not enough neck chin action. Not saying like he has to be bigger, but it's like he's got like a small bottom face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of need a nice big head, big face,
Jaw.
jaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
jaw.
I did only just see Planes, Trains, and Automobiles like very recently. And so that too, that like just frenetic, like Steve Martin is in my head. And so I'm like, nah.
Maybe a good Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd been interesting.
But please.
Oh no, we're just cooking here.
I-
That's all. That's all.
I just like we're blathering on. Because yeah, I also recently listened to Steve Martin's memoir. As it was like available as an audiobook through the library, and hearing more too about like his comedy, like and how he like I just think there's something too about like what he was doing in terms of comedy being so out there. I don't know, I can't like picture him in the role now that I've seen Tim Allen do this goof him.
Yeah.
No, it's surprising. Like Tim Allen, not like our most versatile actor, but this is pretty great role to character matching. Kind of like a lot of his best roles are that Galaxy Quest, uh, Buzz Lightyear.
Well,
Mhm.
and I think to speak even to that point and why that kind of works here, Tim Allen kind of has a William Shatner vibe to him. Like he's a
Mhm.
little self-important, which I think why he's so perfectly cast in Galaxy Quest.
So good.
Mhm.
Because
Galaxy
he's
Quest.
exactly the type of guy. And you can just tell, like, Alan Rickman and Sigourney Weaver secretly sort of just like despise him, but they're also like, he's a little charismatic. I get why people like him. Actually, you know what? He's not so bad, but God, does he grind my gears?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know.
I know I probably said this on another podcast, but I will say it for Rachel's benefit. Not that maybe it's not something you completely want to know, but something you'll probably be like, yeah, I kind of thought that. I grew up in a small town.
Mm.
That's all I want to say. No, Maryland, Pennsylvania line, horse farm country, and one of his big hits post Santa Claus was For Richer for Poor with Kirstie Alley,
Mhm.
where they go to I think they're in witness protection,
Yeah.
and they go hide out in Amish country maybe
Mhm.
and where I lived, I have family who did the horse stuff for that movie, and word around the horses, Tim Allen, kind of an asshole. But I'm saying this to say that it's what you just said. It's like he is, but also he is charismatic and he does have the thing and he does the thing well. So, and
Yeah.
it just works. It's like a puzzle piece, like the puzzles you do at home,
Well, I'm watching
being
this
fit
movie.
right in.
But
Okay.
don't you think that, and I'm jumping way ahead too, but I think that's what makes the movies so much more palatable than what we know of him as an actor in the TV series. It just seems like he's had too many yes men, or that the TV series is created with a lot of people who are like, these are really good ideas, and no one is like, hey man, maybe not. I don't
Yeah.
know. So it just I think that's a little bit again where I'm thinking it jumps the shark from the sitcom relationship based storytelling and physical comedy of the first two movies as it goes on.
Can I lay something down that I think is maybe the through line for this movie and why it works and the things that don't work about the rest of the series? Because I think this is what I really want to nail in on here. And so we can kind of contrast it as we keep going. I think what works here is the heavy dose of reality and the tension of people being real people. Because he has the tension with his ex-wife, right? He has the tension with his son at the beginning. He has the tension even with Bernard, who David Krumholtz, a absolute gem of a person, and just love seeing him. But when he's grumpy in this movie, God, that works for me. When he's like, try to understand this, it's like fucking tell him what's up. He needed somebody with that contrasting energy, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree. And I think one thing you said that's really crucial is it's based in reality, right? These are real relationships. And then as the movies go on, especially in the third, you have so much more of these fairy tale characters or whatever they call that
Yeah.
court of people that they pull together. And so we literally detach from reality and we just don't have the same groundedness
Yeah.
to experience it through.
And I think that's what we were touching on last night, but we didn't want to talk too much because we didn't want to spill it, before this is these movies work best grounded in reality with just a smattering of the fantastical on top,
Yeah.
short times. I would have been curious to clock how much North Pole times in the first movie.
Yes.
That's actually so interesting as someone who again watches it in 12 to 15-minute chunks. The first 15 minutes of the first movie is only when he ends up on the roof with his son because the sleigh is up there.
Yeah.
So he's not even at the North Pole in
Yeah.
the first 12 to 15 minutes. That stuff is way later. And even again with the first one, right? So then he goes to the North Pole. There have those very brief scenes. He's back in reality until the following Thanksgiving. And then it's sort of a smash cut in the end about getting ready for Christmas at the North Pole. That's again a really small percentage. So I do think you're right. There's something there where it's just so much more. The first one, if you really look at it, is a man in the world, not at the North Pole, navigating this tension with his ex-wife and this thing that has been thrust upon him where he's experiencing all these transitions and changes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think you ultimately need him to overcome that tension in order to have that. You called it out earlier, the relief, right? The sweet relief at the end of the movie where it's like, everyone accepts he's Santa Claus. Oh, there is magic in the world. There's belief again. It's like these people have kind of put aside all these things and been like, oh, you know what? There is something really, really like special going on here, and we should really embrace that. And I do think there's so much in the second movie that idea is there. I think, and here's another thing. I think the story ideas for both 2 and 3 are good. Like, I don't know that they got executed perfectly, but we can talk about that because I think the idea of each of those situations of like how do we create more tension with like him being Santa Claus or not, and like, oh, can you stay being Santa Claus, and what's the desire for it? There's so much to that, and exploring like I think still like that real life aspect of him or the human aspect of him of like, okay, I'm a single dad, I'm now got a steady job, do I ever remarry? What does that look like? Is there anybody there out there for me? And then obviously they're like, well, you have to do it, otherwise you don't get to be Santa no more.
Yeah.
So we obviously talked about this movie was a success. The first one, huge success. July 2000, Disney announced that the move toward a sequel had begun for the Santa Claus. Michael Lembeck became attached to direct November that year. Cinco Paul and Ken Doria. What a great name, Cinco Paul. Ken Doria were brought on by Disney Independent Draft of the sequel. In late 2000, it was originally referred to as Santa Claus 2, The Escape Clause. Scheduled originally for release on November 21st, 2001, but that subtitle was abandoned, as we saw, was reused for the third movie. Theatrically released then in November 1st, 2002. This movie had a $65 million budget, so they tripled it from where they were at. What do you guys think it made?
I
I think I'm going to say less.
less than the first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
150.
Got 125.
172. So
We were pretty close.
still made quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
You understand, again, why they kept going, right?
Yeah.
It's like these movies are making triple their budget. Like,
Yeah.
let's
keep this
keep
up.
pumping these out.
And then wait, well, how many years apart was that? So if the first was released in
94, so it's 8 years.
okay,
Which is why Charlie looks like a full ass adult. In
yeah,
this.
yeah. Versus a 5-year-old.
So I'm wondering if I saw that movie a year later from its release because I'm watching on VHS and that's how it used to be. Because I'm assuming it was released like November, September.
Yeah,
early.
you mentioned those
October,
release
I mean.
dates.
Yeah, November
November.
2002. Was
No, I meant
the sequel.
I just meant the first one. I was just thinking
Oh,
about
yeah.
when I watched it. There was no way that was on VHS by that December.
No, it was November 1994. Although I do feel like, I gotta try and think about this. There is a weird feeling in my brain of us getting that VHS for Christmas is what I remember. But because I could see that feels really fast though for Disney to pull the trigger on that. Unless they were like, this is a hit, we need to get this on VHS immediately.
Yeah.
Sometimes, or it's like it's either a hit or they're like, this is flopped. Like we can't expect it to do that well, so just like rapid fire it out to people.
Day and date release in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
talk about this sequel though.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what do you guys think about it? Like, where does it stand?
I mean, the first is definitely my favorite.
Mhm.
And not to be forgotten. So Danny Gonzalez, which is a YouTube content creator, has a lengthy thing where he talks about just like how truly ridiculous it is, and wrote a song that's like about killing Santa. Just that the premise is so weird. But so moving into the second, I mean, you have such a wonderful villain in like the principal character, and so I do like appreciate that and the like physical transformation of like losing the Santa Claus stuff.
Yeah.
There are some really funny like comedic beats to that where he's like talking with his ex-wife and Neil, and they're looking at him, and then he like loses another layer of that like while they're talking to him. So yeah, I would definitely put it behind the first, but I still think it's very fun.
Yeah, I think it's still one that I would consider throwing on while doing a puzzle or playing a game
Absolutely.
or cooking. 2 is still in that realm for me. Definitely not an A tier anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Does it go classic alphabet after that?
No.
Yeah, I
No.
think it's or for the tiers,
S tier, A tier, then is
B
it
tier,
B
C tier. I mean, I don't know.
I'd say it's scraping the top of C tier for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a pretty generous, because I still have good warm memories. But when I rewatch it, what cooks about this movie is the rom-com of it all.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
The like over 40 rom-com of it all, which is something we don't really get anymore. And those, like, I'm not a big rom-com guy, but if I'm gonna watch it, I want to watch like people who've lived some life
Yeah.
go through the romantic things. And that's why, like, the stuff that works for me in the movie is like him going on the dates. Like the Molly Shannon scene is
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Like, is actually, well, when's Molly Shannon bad? Never.
Mm-hmm.
And then the scene which I brought up to you, the office Christmas party,
Yes.
with all the teachers opening
Yeah.
the child gifts. Like, I'm like, this has got like Disney Christmas magic going for it. This
Yeah.
is first movie magic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what the whole movie should feel like. It should be 5 minutes at the top of North Pole, most of it this, and I don't think you need, like, you don't need Fashion Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there is so much of that exact thing that is prevalent in this that you can almost see the studio notes on screen. That is my whole point. I think when they developed this script, they had a really nice idea of like, we're going to have him find Mrs. Claus, right? Like, what a
Mhm.
natural second beat. He's got to like somehow hold on to this number one, but number two, where do you go with single Santa, right? He's got
Yeah.
to find love. And, you know,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, because he can't have his son all year round. So it's like, what else does he do?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're almost right. And I mean, just from like listening or reading about movies that have gotten made in the past or listening to other podcasts that talk about movies, you can almost see like that was their whole premise was like, we're going to have him go through this whole thing. The tension is really just going to be, can he do this in time?
Mm-hmm.
And before he loses the Santa Claus, he has to find Mrs. Claus. But as a studio head for Disney, what is your note? Well, kids are not going to like that. That's going to be boring. He's just
Mhm.
going to be going out in the real world and dating. No, we need this tension plot. And here's something else that I'll position you guys to that came out at the time and why I think this movie got developed the way it did. Harry Potter just came out, right?
Mm.
What do kids love? World of magic,
Yeah.
things that are magical, right? And so you get this like super crazy like North Pole with all its magic, right?
Yeah.
They're probably trying to capture a little of what's working in that franchise. Right?
Mhm.
And it's all the stuff that doesn't work in this franchise, which is like the cutesy North Pole talk that, like, I feel a movie like Elf does much better, where you're kind of harnessing the Rankin Bass, like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
weird way of saying things where you're working like, oh, I burnt my Christmas cookies when you like fall or something. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Mhm.
like you're using double entendre with Christmas things. Like, I feel that's a big like thing they did in Elf well, where this movie it always falls short.
Mhm.
Like when it's like someone not swearing, going, "Oh, nutcracker" or something. Like,
Yeah. Which, yeah.
Yeah, just that I'm thinking about like Elf and like the scenes where they're with the elves. Like, it's a lot of like you're at a work table together. Then and then by comparison in the Santa Claus, which has way more North Pole scenes in the second one, it's
Mhm.
like this huge, like almost grand hall like level of like openness and people and stuff, and so
Yeah.
then it is just like way more of this like these pastel colors and like a million children.
Yeah. Which it does feel like the first one, and I was trying to compare the North Pole between that one and the second one,
Mm.
and it feels like it's a little more, like you said, it's a little more colorful, a little more pastel. I feel like the first one has a little more green. Like I even think about like when they have like the elf like safety squad or whatever, the rescue squad go out,
Mhm.
and they look a little intimidating. They're wearing like dark green suits or whatever, and they're flying, and like while it's still magical, they also look a little like, I don't know, wild. And even when they're like walking down the hallway to like the ZZ Top song,
Yeah.
like, and it,
Tom's pumping his fist.
It's got a little 90s edge to it, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like it feels like you're almost not Die Hard, but you know what I mean? It's got some of that like look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, yeah, it's almost like too bright in the sequel to the point where you're like, okay. Because some of the funny bits with Fascist Santa are like, sorry, I call him Fascist Santa because he's Santa bot, but whatever. But is when he just like doesn't operate. They're like, oh, you don't want to drink all that cocoa. That's super hot. And he's just like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And-
Slams it. Plays football with some of the elves and like essentially smashes their face into the snow.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Because I don't know. I kind of laughed at the broken Santa shit of that all because I just think that's funny because it's like, oh, he's clearly not really the guy. And they're like, the fuck's wrong with this dude?
2 design also has a lot of like the Grinch live action vibes to it, which doesn't hold up visually as well.
No.
Oh yeah, good point.
It is interesting that this came out before Elf, and I wonder if they took some notes from that too. Because obviously they had the whole Rankin Master, like
Yeah.
that design, but too of it, they're like, okay, we have to kind of maybe get away from like it's all kids working there. What if it is all adults? Which is funny. You have like Ralphie from A Christmas Story is like
Yeah.
one of those.
I think also as a viewer, like it's more comfortable like to watch that kind of a joke versus like I think the Santa Claus 2 starts he's like walking around and like gets a cookie from like what is clearly a child who is 6 or 5.
Yeah.
Like this like little girl with these ringlets.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
offering up this like cookie to him and it's like there you don't want there to be jokes at the expense of the children. That's not comfortable as a viewer to like watch versus like with Elf where we can laugh a little bit more about that because they're knowing adults.
Mhm.
Yeah. They also took a little of the edge away from Krumholtz, which was always a little bit of a problem for me because I think Krumholtz works well when he has a little bit of grumpiness, but he is also still kind of warm, kind of like Tim Allen. And he's
Mhm.
almost like a mirror image of like, here's a guy in the North Pole who kind of has that same worldview of like, it's a living, but
Mhm.
he's so sweet on Charlie. And he's like, oh, no worries, man. I got you. He's like, this guy, though,
Mm-hmm.
this guy. I love that energy about him, and I just felt like he was a little too son of a nutcracker in the
In
sequel.
the second one.
yeah.
Yeah. And then he's not in the third at all.
No,
Right.
and you felt his absence.
Yeah.
He does come back for the TV show.
Is he grumpy though?
Mm, maybe a little bit.
A little bit. Because he comes back in the like 6th episode of the season 1. And it is a bit of a like reveal. Like, whoop, whoop, like
Mhm. And he's
that he-
dressed just like his for the first movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some of that scene, what like how that comes about, because he ages,
Mhm.
and the backstory that they give of the rationale for that is he's like, well, there's this like almost like the Amish like Rumspringa for elves.
Mhm.
They like leave the North Pole for a small period of time, and he found love while he was away from the North Pole. And because he has like chosen to be in the real world with that woman, he's aging.
Mm.
And so yeah, plus minus. Most of the role he has in that TV series, outside of being like a face that's so recognizable from Bernard and the first and second one, is just like as a guide. So I can't say he doesn't have all the lovable crankiness.
No, that's almost too bad.
It's good to see him though.
Yeah. But he does rag on Tim Allen's character to be like, you're also old and squishier.
Yeah, which is good. I like that. But I think, not to say that because I do think part of what works about this movie and why I think it is a very watchable movie still is a lot of the stuff like you mentioned with like him like sanctifying. That stuff is a good visual gag. I think Elizabeth Mitchell, who has way more to do in this than she does in the third one.
Yeah.
And she's actually like giving something into this role and you really feel for her character a little bit too. It's just, I don't know. I think she's definitely bringing a good energy to like, okay, of course he's going to go for the principal who is kind of like trying to hammer on Charlie. And it's like the classic thing. Like if you ever like a child like I was who got in trouble in school and like when the teachers get to know who you are, they get to know where you come from, and suddenly their perspective changes and they're like, you're not so bad. You just need a little direction. If I don't yell at you and I just kind of try to understand you, they're a little more successful. And she definitely gave like that right energy of so many principals and teachers that I've known in my life. And it's just like, yeah, the people who always like want to take a shot at me. It's like, hey.
Don't you think too though, like in the second one, there's a scene where he reveals that he's Santa to her first, and they're like clearly like spending time together after it's like days later, like time has passed since the sleigh ride and like vintage gifts at the holiday party.
Mhm.
That's how I interpreted it. And the way she played that scene, both like first being like, okay, so like you wear socks with sandals, like okay, there was like definitely a vulnerability and authenticity to that where it's like, well, yeah, these are not a big deal. And then like an actual actor reacted like to being feeling defensive and like hurt that he's making a joke at her expense, like because he's saying he's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she really carries like the second one really significantly. The first, like, there are huge like plot holes that are like totally illogical, right? Like that Santa's gonna fall off a roof and die,
Yeah.
and you're gonna put on his jacket and become Santa. The one in the second though that is like stands out to me is just so hard to sort of like really believe if we step back 1,000 feet is you're gonna marry someone you've known for less than 30 days.
Yes.
But this actress and like how this story is told, the way it's sort of shoehorned into the end, it is still like believable enough for I can watch it for enjoyment enough to not be like, ew,
Yeah.
great for you.
But man, and maybe that is some of where the series was starting to kind of pull me in a little bit more is when they do start to explore her a little more too of like she's like I kind of jumped into this like and also it kind of starts to seem like she's having a little bit of like regret and
Mhm.
like or sort of like oh I wish I had and you kind of feel that in 3 when she's got her dad and mom coming too and and Alan Arkin just like man
He's cooking.
he can't he and someone else who never is bad
Mhm.
but just even like the corny line deliveries that he's just putting like real feeling behind I'm like damn how is he doing this
Yeah.
but and I think the point she even made though in the series that I was like thank you for finally saying it she's like did you ever consider if there was a Mrs. Claus before what the dead Santa and I was like yeah like, what happened to this woman if she was here?
Yeah.
Was she here? We don't know, right? Like,
Mhm.
because like, didn't this happen before? But they make it seem like so like they just discovered this. I was like, how is this possible? How long did the last Santa last? There's so many questions, like how did he not run into this shit?
Yeah. And that is again, like, I think it is season 1, episode 6, because it's like what an 8-episode season.
Mhm.
They get into like shoehorning answers to a lot of those questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which like I don't think there was a single other Mrs. before her. Is that what some of the Yule blah blah is?
Some of that's just it just washes over you. When
But
you watch it.
essentially-
I'm not getting it all.
The what I will say, spoiler for the season, the first season, is that you come to find out that like not that he was chosen, but like he had an interaction with Santa as a child.
Oh.
And so then the falling off the roof was not an accident.
Oh.
That's how they pivoted in the season
interesting.
of the TV series, which I can kind of believe. Like it's like whatever, sure that makes sense. But then
fine.
there's like this addition of like, okay, well, having this human man on the North Pole, like gifting him this opportunity to be Santa, like what would make him be successful? Having a spouse, having the opportunity to have kids. But then that's framed in the TV series as like that those things are all happening for the very first time.
Mm.
That's a TV show.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Let's.
Wait, and if I can,
Go
because I
ahead.
totally forgot to say this, but every time I watch the Santa fall off the roof in the first one, like he so clearly clips like this white felt blanket that's like supposed to stay on the roof.
Yeah.
Because you can see there's like, this is where he slides down. And there's just like, I just find those moments in movies so funny where they're like, well, yeah, didn't go exactly as we wanted, but like that's one take and like that's it.
I mean, that was the budget at the time.
That was the budget at the time. Like you fell down. Okay. I mean, yeah, you did mess up what should look like a snow pile and is now clearly a blanket, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's all just like when you have a stunt like that, I feel like you get one shot at
Yeah, and you're like,
stuff.
that's
You're
it.
like, that's it.
No, but those stand out to me. That and like when people are supposed to be dead and then they're like clearly blinking.
Yeah.
Like something. I'm just like, oh, so silly.
It is. But it still works.
Oh, 100%. In some ways, it works more because it's like this is a part of the storytelling. This is a part of like attempting to tell these stories. This is
Yeah.
what happens.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna have I don't know, a lot of things that you have to do, especially as you make a sequel. You have to figure out where do you navigate next. Third movie was then greenlit, filmed in 2005, 2006, with the director and principal cast returning, except for David Krumholtz, R.I.P. I mean, not R.I.P. in real life. I mean, like,
Not real.
felt the loss. It was
Yes,
like
yes,
it was the death in my heart.
Spencer Breslin not filling those boots for you?
What is his deal? Is he a good actor? Like,
I don't know.
No, I'm
No one knows.
he's not good, right? Like,
No,
Not in that, at least.
Especially, there's something about it too, where because a few of his scenes are with Martin Short,
mhm.
who just seems so much more like fluid and like normal. I mean, the Jack Frost character is exaggerated, but like when he's talking about like the Hall of Snow Globes,
Yeah.
you're like, "I had to turn down the cheese or something. Like something's happening here where it's giving off like middle school theater, like or grade school theater vibes. Where
Yeah.
you're like, whoa. Like, we can see and hear you. You know, it's
Yeah.
up close. We can like, we don't have to like,
It feels like his greatest gift was getting his sister into the business. Like, who is
Who's
a
in the third one?
she is for like a real small part, right?
Mhm.
Which I was like, is this where they were like doing casting Little Miss Sunshine? And they're like, we need Arkin, we need that girl right there.
Not him.
Yeah. We need Dano. Oh,
Mm.
but Quentin Tarantino would be like, I think you could skip that guy. I don't like that.
Yeah, she's kind of like the character in Wicked who's like, is it true that you were her friend? Like, that's kind of like her role in the third one.
Yeah.
100%. That is the perfect parallel.
Again, very little about the production of this movie, which is so weird. I tried to look up a lot, so if you have more to add, please do, Rachel. They just said the looks for Jack Frost and Mrs. Claus were visually very different. Jack Frost was originally more of like a British 1960s look that had more impish and elfin tones.
Mhm.
So imagine he looked a little like Austin Powers, like kind of. Or did you guys ever see the Rankin Bass Jack Frost?
Mhm.
I think so. I think he's supposed to look a little like that. He looks a little more like a court jester of sorts.
Oh, okay.
He looks very much like Snow Miser. Snow Miser?
Yeah.
Yes, that is a look, which is like, because the robot fascist bot Santa
Yeah.
is so plasticky and fake, but then that carries into the Jack Frost costuming, where you're like, did you come out of a plastic machine? Why is your hair like this?
Yeah. It's so weird. Which like it's a very strange look for him. Whereas like they could have toned down. I mean, God, I don't want to bad talk everything because I think there's a lot enjoyable about this. The like Council of Fantasy people, I'm
Yeah.
like, can we just skip like some of this? Like,
Mhm.
other than bringing Peter Boyle back and doing some stuff, because we didn't even talk about him in the first one.
Come on, Kevin Pollock. It's always good to
I mean,
see Kev.
Pollock's fine. I mean, it's really just for me about Peter Boyle delivering his like very like single monotone, just like lines.
Isn't Dorf or whatever from Star Trek?
Oh yeah, Michael. Oh god, what's his name? Michael something or other.
Are they doing anything? No, it's just nice to see him.
Michael Dorn? That's
Yeah.
yeah, as Sandman. That's a great scene with him and Alan Arkin and Anne Margaret. With
Yeah.
just
Which I'm new to Anne Margaret because I had never seen Grumpy Old Men.
never seen Bye Bye Birdie.
No.
Oh man,
But now I know.
now you know.
Now I know.
I almost feel like I know more about Bye Bye Birdie because of Mad Men, where they were trying to like recreate it for like the soda brand that they were working on, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
opening sequence. Oh boy, lots is going on there. But this was Peter Boyle's final film, though.
Really?
Man,
Way to go out.
The film killed him.
It is weird.
He fell
Really
off a roof.
Yeah. It is weird that like he's in the first movie as like his boss.
Yeah,
And then he's like Father Time in 2 and 3.
they needed a way to bring him back. They were like, we gotta have him on retainer.
That is also like so much time passed that you just said that, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. But I
Mhm.
would not have like pulled that
But I
from
do
my own watches.
I do
Always
like
have.
him as the boss though in the first
Yeah,
one. He's
good
just
as
like
the boss.
finished.
Yeah. And when he's like so forward about like figure this out, like
Yeah.
what is going on with you? Don't come back here.
Yeah.
You get this sorted.
He do you think when he fell off the roof, do you think Jacob Elordi put on his outfit so he could become the preacher? I had to get that. I know Fred appreciated that.
Yeah.
Did you see Frankenstein? The Guillermo del Toro one?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's on the list, though.
It's on the list.
I have to be careful about movies that appear scary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You said you
Because what's
avoid-
the other one where they were like vampires? That was recently in theaters.
Nosferatu?
Nosferatu.
Yes, I saw that, and I couldn't watch. It.
Yeah,
I
I want
found-
to get intense.
in the theater.
Oh,
I was really brave.
Mhm.
yeah.
So I have to space those out.
Those are very different. I mean, very similar vibe movies.
Thank you. Okay, because
So-
that was my read when I watched the trailer for Frankenstein. I was like, this is giving me Nosferatu flashback.
Definitely more palatable,
Yes.
fear-wise,
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you for
than
saying that.
Frankenstein. I prefer Nosferatu over Frankenstein,
Mhm.
but I think Frankenstein's way less scary, probably.
Ooh.
Mm.
I'll save my thoughts for our year-end episode.
Yeah, I think
Uh-oh.
Frankenstein's kind of bad, but
Wow.
Maybe.
I think
Give it
Jacob
to me.
Elordi good, movie bad.
I disagree, but we'll talk about that later. I liked it. We'll just leave it at that.
And I love that for you.
I love that for you that you like Nosferatu, which
Mhm.
is clearly his worst movie so far.
Oh,
Yeah, but he makes all good movies, so
I mean, that's true. That is true, though, too.
worst of the bad lot, I'll take, or worst of the good lot, I'll take
there
it.
you
Well,
go.
we gotta move on. We gotta move on.
Just
'cause,
a little breadcrumb for a future episode.
Yes.
Yeah, why are you opening up these channels?
you
Sorry,
are opening
no,
up. I just wanted to mention the allurity of it
That
all.
might be me because I talked about Nosferatu.
Well, no, that's okay. Which I mean, it's good to know about Nosferatu, a movie that's interesting, but obviously nothing to do with this one, other than the Peter Boyle connection, who played Frankenstein's monster in Young Frankenstein. Probably his best role, but this was a close second. But we talk about the escape clause, which is now the official escape clause. The other thing that they had about this movie was, I guess, Elizabeth Mitchell. They were going to make her a little bit bigger, a little more like round in the face, but I guess the prosthetics really like muted her performance. I would argue the script did that for her, but
That or maybe the wild hairpiece that she's wearing that looks like a helmet from behind.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess they basically just they were talked together, her and the director, and they were like, let's just
Yeah. Have
keep
it
you
be.
slim down. Yeah.
Do you have the budget for this third one?
I sure do. Well, okay, so actually they did not include the budget, but how much it made.
Okay.
And I'll just tell you guys, it made 110 million worldwide. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I would imagine the budget is probably similar to 2. Is my thought.
There's just something about like the bonkers like costume choices, like again for like the Mrs. Claus character, like she's just wearing this like hairpiece that's like this helmet bun
Mm-hmm.
that is like so clearly fake, and which is fine. But similarly, like the Jack Frost character, I'm like that is a level of like makeup and hair, like I'm sure it's a piece, but like I'm like there's just clearly more investment in the third one budget wise.
Yeah.
So that's where I was curious about like how much more did they pick that up or bump up the budget for then what is a third movie in a series where stuff typically trails off.
Yeah.
Like so
It's definitely a hard read, but I do feel like it's got to be something similar to 2, just kind of based on the look. But I don't know, unless
I just recognize so many more faces in the third.
I mean, they definitely open up the piggy bank for some good actors.
Yeah.
which, I mean, Anne Margaret is definitely a classic. I think Alan Arkin's the big get here, right?
Mhm.
Like he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody else, there's always, I mean, well, Martin Short obviously is the get here, and we could probably talk about the Martin Short of it all. I mean, what do you guys think about 3 as a whole, though? I guess
That's my least favorite of the movies, probably.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like meh. I mean, yeah, like it's not something I would rewatch to be like, yeah, it's so good. Like it's not one of those like movies that has like sort of the like where you have a cult watch.
yeah.
That would be what I would have to say about that.
Yeah, not quite bad enough to be a cult, and I get you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
also think Martin Short is not funny in it.
Mm.
I love that.
he's doing a lot of the Martin Short things that you know about Martin Short, but
Uh-huh.
it does feel like he's a little more restricted compared to like how quippy he is on like Only Murders in the Building. There's a little of that missing here. The energy's there, but it is not the same delivery.
Yeah, that's a good point. It probably feels like a little bit more like restrained by like what the dialogue is
Mm-hmm.
versus like I don't know the quips in Only Murders in the Building, like that kind of like flighty character who's like just his own is like much more engaging in like an absorbing way.
Yeah.
In the Santa Claus 3, I feel like I'm just like I'm watching it as like a spectator. I'm not like absorbed emotionally in any part of the story.
It's a Vin Diesel thing, I
Mhm.
think. That's my theory is in Only Murders in the Building, everyone's allowed to score. Everyone's allowed to be funny. I think there might be a little late period Tim Allen thing where he doesn't, much how Vin Diesel doesn't want to get like punched or like beaten by any other member on screen. I don't think Tim Allen wants people scoring
Mhm.
as much as he's going to score in the movie.
Yeah.
And when the level of writing's so low,
Mhm.
it's kind of like there's really nowhere to go if you can't go past him with your own improv.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
there's a little bit of that. He doesn't want Martin Short coming out in the movie funnier than
He doesn't want him upstaging him, right? Because
Yeah.
I think, look, I'll just
even though
call it
that
what
should
it
be
is.
the plot of the movie.
Martin Short is funnier than Tim Allen, in my
Oh, yeah.
honest opinion.
Easy.
Like easy
Yeah.
slam dunk. And I think it sucks when you get him in a movie like this and it feels like he's not able to cook as much as you know he's capable of, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's probably because Tim Allen seems like a guy who wants to stick to the script, and Martin Short probably just wants to riff, like, you know.
Yeah, but even what we talked about of the success of the first one, like what Tim Allen has in terms of like being like grouchy but likable, he loses that strength into the third one,
Yeah.
where it becomes more of this like workaholic story, or like he's not this like leading man, best dad ever. Like that's not what's I don't like associate that with him either. So yeah, there's just sort of a little bit I think of where like the third one moves away from the strengths of him as an actor and the story, and then you can't just save it by like one goofy character.
Right.
It's not enough.
I think it would have been, and this is again to my point of like, you can see the studio notes on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they wanted so much North Pole, and there's so much setup to this premise. And it's like, we should have been here 30 minutes into the movie of him losing the Santa Claus thing back in time. And just like, let's revisit these relationships. We go through so quickly what happened to everybody in these alt reality
Mm-hmm.
of like, oh yeah, Charlie's like, doesn't have a relationship with you, you know, like Neil barely has a relationship with him. His mom like barely sees him. And it's like, and just kind of seeing like, oh my God, like this is like, they're really drive his desire to like rediscover why he wants to be Santa Claus, you know, and like why he would even like ever regret saying like, oh, I don't want to be Santa Claus anymore. Right. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish that, and I feel like the studio was like, no. We need less of the real world stuff. The North Pole is where the magic is.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Like, it's just,
That's probably such a good point again, like flipping like that percentage in the real world versus the North Pole in the first one. Like they're at the North Pole so rarely.
mm-hmm.
And then on the third, like if your storyline is really about a guy losing the ability to be Santa and then fighting back for that, that's a really small part where he's like in that parallel universe or in the
Yeah.
reality of the real world. It's like maybe 22 minutes. I don't know. It feels like ridiculously short. And then again, there's just that like big character energy of the like Jack Frost character. They return to the North Pole with Jack Frost now as Santa, and that's like again a huge chunk of the movie.
Yeah.
And we took so much to get there to the like seemingly plot of the movie in the first part.
Yeah. And I do feel like, who is Jack Frost? Like, why do we care? Like, oh, he fucks things shit up and he wants Christmas or whatever. Like, but like, what about him? What made him this way? Right.
I mean, yeah, in the very beginning of the movie, I think they do moderately well to be like, this is a guy who's always number two. Like, he
Mhm.
doesn't have a holiday. People don't know who he is. Like, he doesn't have the recognition of Santa. And so he's always like clamoring to get that kind of attention.
Mm-mm.
But you're right. Like, almost again, coming back to the relationship is like, well, there's not a whole lot there.
Yeah. Like, I think if you're gonna have him like really want to take the Santa thing and go like all like full like super capitalist and all that stuff, like
Mhm.
I want to know like a little more about what's driving him to really want this. Like,
Mhm.
he's like, oh, he was neglected by whoever his parents were or something like that, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
A strong breeze in a river. I don't know.
yeah,
His parents were.
strong piece in a river. I see.
And it's also, I feel, Endgame is kind of cribbing from this movie a little bit. They're going back and revisiting all the big hits of
Yeah.
the original.
Oh, you mean like because we see from a different perspective the falling off the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's true. I mean, do we have a lot more to say about this, or
Think so. I mean, I think the third like is sort of in his what it is of like when a franchise does go that long.
yeah,
Like it's a kids movie.
yeah,
It's a kids family movie. Do we really need three of them? No. It makes me think too of like Trolls. Or even like Zootopia 2 just recently came out. So like are there places for sequels for some of these movies? Yes. Are we also maybe returning to success instead of being creative elsewhere? I would say for number 3 could have cut. Yeah, like
yeah.
maybe we are.
Or just tried to recover a little what that first one was about, which I think they have that there. Like I said, the story is not bad. Like
Hmm.
it just, but yeah, I think you said like Tim Allen seemed like maybe he had some ideas of how this should go, which he also has some ideas about how the TV series should go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we should talk a little bit about that, right? And then start keep
Yeah, I
moving here.
feel like we
yeah.
don't have to talk much about the TV show, but what are your thoughts about the TV show, Rachel?
Let me forcibly insert one final thought about the third movie, just to say
Absolutely.
that because you've seen Spirited, I think
Yes.
Spirited is
yes.
actually like a better like example of like and of course the story is significantly different, but in Spirited it's like a lot more about the relationships of that man and looking back or forward on his relationships. That is what you would want. What I think I would have hoped for in the Santa Claus 3 is like seeing more of the impact of not actually being Santa anymore.
Yeah.
It's
How
a
does
Wonderful
it
Life.
make you feel? Yeah. What kind of emotional turmoil do you have about that? You come back to life and you're working on Christmas Eve and then you realize you're estranged from your son. What feelings do you have about that? We don't see any of that. We just see him on a plane to the North Pole.
Right. Right.
So just to say like, yeah, there's so many other stories that have handled that reflection and like feeling better. And then the TV series. So I watched it when it first came out because I was like, well, I watch these movies all the time. But rewatching it for this, I was like, oh man, yeah, these are bad.
Yep. I'll stick by Noel's cooking. He's my guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The elves, I do appreciate that they're aged up a little bit. Like again, I just find it uncomfortable to watch like kids on film if they're if they're the butt of jokes or
If they're not good actors either, yeah, that's tough.
us kids.
Which-
what are we doing?
Some of the kid actors in this are pretty good. You have what's her name from Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know her name, but she's cooking right now.
She is doing.
Wait, which one is that?
She is like the controller elf lady who's in the relationship with Noel.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she's now in the new Pennywise show, Welcome to Derry, as like one of the kids.
Oh,
And she's like pretty good in it too, as like a character who you don't like, but then you kind of like come around to.
Yeah.
And I think
Okay.
those two I like. Those are like the bright spots of the show is their
Yes.
dynamic. And I also kind of like the doofy kid.
Oh.
Son.
Oh yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The son.
Betty is the character's name.
There we go.
The actress's name is Matilda Lawler.
Mhm.
She's playing Marge on
Yeah.
Welcome to Derry. She's doing great. She's doing good work in this.
Potentially Finn Wolfhard's mom in the It story. So that's a
Oh,
little
is that
something to
right?
think about.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Put that in your pocket for
But returning to the obviously incredible craft of the Santa Claus series, I just recently watched another like Netflix Christmas movie. It's called like The Merry Xmas. It like literally just came out in the last week or so. And part of the characters, the mom who's like getting this divorce, blah blah blah, like is wildly into the environment, like in an over the top, like pushy kind of way that is uncomfortable for her kids as they're like starting college and at the end of high school. That joke about someone who cares about the environment is a 2025 joke. 2024, 2023. You know what I mean? Like where we're like, boo, environmentalists. And when I rewatched the first I just should have written some of these lines down, but even the very first episode of season 1 of the TV series, I'm like, man, we are punching down.
Yes.
Well, okay, and I have to call this out because I'm like, wow, this cast is so much more diverse. It seems like we're tackling this, but the whole meeting where she's like, well, we can't do that, and the HR
There we
elf,
go.
and I am like, God, fucking put a bullet in my brain. And when he goes, I can't say Merry Christmas to all without offending everyone, I'm like, get out of here, dude. I literally I was like, boo.
I'm so glad you remembered those enough to be able to quote them because
I'm cackling. I don't like the idea of kids watching it and ingesting that poison. But the fact that Disney Plus is putting out a Santa Claus show and they're like, look, we're gonna have to let Tim put a little bit of his politics in this show or else he's not gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm laughing at the darkness of it. I'm laughing while screaming.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that was a little bit too, again, like when it got to the TV series where I was just like, man, there's like too many yes men around. Like that someone wouldn't be like, no, we don't need these jokes. Like there are other jokes to be made. We don't have to be like poo-pooing like that. The one about like that all boys and girls like to be called naughty, or like there was also like this thread, a tiny glimmer about like where they're referencing neurodivergence or like
Yeah.
ADHD or what maybe before it was ADD and not being like quiet in a classroom. And I'm like, you guys, this is Disney Plus and this is a 20-minute episode. Do we really need to be making any reference to that at all?
Yeah.
No.
It is a writer's room at war with its
Oh,
is
man.
what I feel, because I'm like, man, there's actually something here, and then there's other stuff, and I'm like, oh,
Ugh.
I do, yeah. Like, I think you said it right. You were like, there was so many head and palm moments throughout
Yes.
this, and I was like, yeah, because otherwise, like, I'm like, the concept doesn't suck, like,
Mhm.
and I think that's the whole thing with this franchise is like there is some nuggets of good things here
Yeah.
that just didn't quite hit the mark.
Tim needs to take those jokes to Changing Gears or whatever that show.
Oh, yeah.
Kat Dennings.
Dad, who's watching that?
Is that
I mean,
still happening?
Like most of middle folk America, I'm assuming.
I would think so.
That was like when y'all were like talking about, and I agree with you. You were like, "Who wants Applebee's / IHOP?" And I'm like, the people who live near where that Applebee's / IHOP is going in are gonna be all over that shit.
Oh man, which I understand. I mean, like, cause I grew up in a small town, and like when Taco Bell was built, 30-minute drive away, it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
Mhm. I was just gonna say, yeah, most of my thoughts from here on out are probably gonna be like, show me the franchise.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is there any other cappers on the show, or is that kind
I
of?
don't think so. I think it's what I've named about like right. We're sort of in an area where like there's a lot of remakes
Mhm.
of things.
Like a
There's-
sequels.
There's a lot like a lot of sequels, a lot of like redoing things that used to exist. And so I'm not shocked that a streaming service, right? Because stuff has also changed about how things are made, that they're making these TV series. Because I mentioned too, right? Hocus Pocus got a TV series. Why did we need to do that?
It's got a TV series.
It's got a movie, I think, right? Or it's
No,
got a show now?
I thought it was a show.
Oh.
Or is it Hocus Pocus 2 is the movie?
Hocus
Hocus
Pocus
Pocus
2 is a movie.
And it follows girls, young girls.
Yes, Young Witches, which I did like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was interesting.
But it's just, yeah, this sort of like thing about like instead of creating something new or moving into a new story, we're like rehashing something that worked 20 years ago. And for like, yeah, I don't know. There is also like just so many examples in the world at the moment right now where you're like, someone has reached a level of success and the only people around them are saying that what they're doing is good.
Yeah.
So then they don't have the refinement to be like, no.
Well, I mean, Disney's biggest problem, I think, is they capitalize on nostalgia and people's like feelings about the original thing. And and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is such a new problem." I'm like, it's not though. If you
Mm-mm.
go back to the 1950s and 1960s, Like we had a Psycho 2. We had like sequels to The Exorcist. I don't know why I'm picking horror franchises, but I think that's the most obvious
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I mean, there's also like even like really good movies that you'll think of. There's like random sequels or spin-offs. Like Animal House had like a spin-off TV series and sometimes that stuff works. Ferris Bueller also had its spin-off TV series. They're always been capitalizing on it. We're
Mm-hmm.
just hitting another wave of like, okay, we're trying to get those people who are now in power or like have this creative control and they want to make these like legacy things, and it's like they just sometimes don't hit.
Yeah.
Is that your 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
Yeah, is that your 2 cents?
I'm or
Is
is
that
that
your
your 2 cents?
Oh, but if I may say too, there's an element of the nostalgia that is the people that they're reaching that it would be nostalgic for potentially now have money,
Yes.
right? Like we have jobs and have income that we did not have when we were children. And so that too is like a different market.
Absolutely.
And I think some reason why those things get returned.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think that's how we got here, right? I mean, it was developed in January 2022. It was called The Clauses, was the initial title. They were going to use a lot of ghosts and goblins. Tim Allen was like, no, I want to put the Christ back in Christmas. That's a direct quote from him.
Yeah.
Like this needs to be more
Just
safe.
like the original.
Yeah. Premiered November 2022, December 14th, 2022 was renewed for second season, as you said. And then we got season 2, no announcement on season 3, which I think gets us to Show Me the Franchise.
Mhm.
So Show Me the Franchise is our coulda, woulda, shoulda segment, things that you wish could have been different, things you still wish that they would do or should do. So this is a lot of hypotheticals. We talked about it already too with some of the casting what ifs. So I mean, whether you guys want to jump off on that or future entries in the franchise, I'm open to hearing what you got.
So,
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying.
All right, let it rip.
I have no changes. What's done is done. I don't know how to fix what has been wrought here.
Yeah.
What I'll say is this: take the whole franchise out back and, just shoot it.
Wow.
You're not going to just push it off a roof instead? You're going to use
Yeah,
the fire?
push it off. No, that's more apt. I'm going to push it off the roof. So someone else has to take the pants of a Santa Claus Disney Plus show. And I just like the idea of something more family friendly, but along the lines of like The Paper or other workplace comedies. Give me an issue of the day, issue of the week North Pole show. I don't want it big and bloated and fantastical.
Mhm.
I just want here's the situation. Here's how we're gonna do it. We have some fun elf characters. Maybe the reindeer are cool. Who knows? And you have like someone charismatic at the head of it. I don't want big lore, Santa lore injected. I just kind of want like a workplace sitcom
Mhm.
about the North Pole.
What you're describing reminds me a lot of there's also like a DMV sitcom that is like recently come out, which admittedly I have not yet watched like a couple episodes, but I can completely imagine the DMV vibe of the North Pole.
Yeah.
As an entertaining.
Yeah, the
short
short other minutia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, oh no, we're out of wood. What do we do?
Mhm.
Please.
Oh, one last thing. Give me, because like how Marvel, you got a spinoff and every character gets their own show.
Yeah.
Same with Star Wars. I want kind of like they just did that show about the people who made the Guinness beer and like the start of the Guinness family, and it's supposed to be like Succession. I want the Rose Such a Ladder Company.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want the story there.
Yeah. Well, I understand how they kind of came to be.
Yeah.
I
That
love
would
it.
be very fun.
Oh.
How they rose up the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a joke. Oh, man, that type of shit was missing though too. I feel like in 2 and 3, like I needed more like misnomers of like, oh yeah, it's like, because I think in the first one they're like, oh this is a CD player, and it's like, no, it's a cookie dispenser, not a compact disc, or like a rose such a clatter is like a rose such a ladder or whatever. Like I felt like that was like half of the gags, or like elves were like, what was it called, like elf like Liberation Force or something
Yeah,
like that.
ELFS.
Yeah.
Those with attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, let me comment next because then if it's bad, Tom, you can really bring it home.
Go for it. No, let's hear it. What you got?
Well, I can't say that I would murder the franchise like Fred, so not the same level of passion. But I do think like woulda, coulda, shoulda. I think could have gone without the series. I do not expect a third season. Like I don't think it like had the success to like drive where it went. And in some ways, I almost think writing wise, the first season was like all that was really needed to like wrap up all those plot holes like you said. Like why did Santa die falling off a roof? How can you become Santa? And then you get this weird backstory that Scott was chosen or like, you know, is special in some way. um Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I would have loved to see like Bernard in a spin-off.
Yeah.
Like I think like you're talking about like a workplace sitcom of that, like following him. And that could have been really entertaining. And then I do wish again would have could have to like just focus more on the relationships in the real world. That's those sitcom tropes and like that kind of comedy is very like comforting and easy watch for me. And I would say successful. Look at Abbott Elementary. That's a very smart, like modern comedy, sitcom comedy. That if the movies one and then especially two and especially three had related more to like the relationships and feelings and the reflection, I think I would have loved to have seen that.
What about just in the next season of Abbott Elementary? They're like, hey, we've got a new math teacher, and it's Bernard.
I would
Because
love-
one thing we know about David Krumholtz, he's good with numbers.
Yes. It it is fun to have caught him like in his acting career at that time
Yeah.
and now and seeing where he's at now. But yeah, I think that would be really it is. It's like, man, I just wish because again, this is all very cheesy. But like, why do people like this movie? And I said at the beginning, right? If you're gonna believe in something, sometimes it means just believing in it, even when the odds are against you. And the holiday season is an opportunity for people to sort of winter and like reflect, nest, and like think about who they are as people and how we move through the world. And it's missing that because it is missing the like grounded relationship. So we don't get that opportunity to reflect as a viewer as much as if it had that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's a great point. And no, you did not miss that. That was all very good.
It's good.
I'm with you guys. I want the workplace sitcom. Give me Bernard, David Krumholtz, who's just a very watchable actor. It's call it Santa's Workshop or something like that, right? And
Mhm.
it's just him kind of like doing the single cam, like sitcom, and just I would have loved it, like just to see that. I would also say something you picked up on earlier, and that's why I bit my lip and I pointed at Fred, but you guys brought it up too with Steve Martin.
Mhm.
How about you do something kind of like The Year Without a Santa Claus? Instead of having Jack Frost, it would have been Snow Miser, Martin Short, Heat Miser, Steve Martin
Mhm.
playing off of each other. You get that dynamic that you have on like Only Murders,
Mhm.
minus Selena Gomez, but throw her in there. Why not? She could have been like, she could have been adult Judy, giving her like monotone, like delivery.
Yes, yes,
Probably
yes,
been
yes.
very fun. I would have added more diversity to some of those movies early on before we got to the TV series. But I think that would have been a very fun idea. Really, if you're really going to chase the Santa lore, chase the Santa lore. Like, get into the misers. Who cares? Like,
Mhm.
people know them from that movie and just getting into that. But I mean, that's really all I got. I think you're right. The TV series felt a little unnecessary. I would have loved to see them really. I would have loved to see Cal Penn do a little bit more than what I got. Like, I liked the parallels that I saw so far of him being kind of like the modern version of Scott Calvin,
Mhm.
like fighting against Amazon or whatever, but also working in marketing and kind of understanding that how the sausage is made there. I'm like, none of this feels real.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if you work in this environment and work in that reality, you're like, oh, none of this works like this. Like, what is this percentage of things that are being distributed from places we don't know? And they're like, well, we don't know. It's like, if you got 20% of your data saying that something's happening, you're gonna fucking figure that out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just the marketing analyst in me, and I'm like, I needed him more like Kumar, giving that like kind of sassy attitude that he has in that role.
Mhm.
But either way, it was always fun to see him. He just, I don't know. There's potential there that I was like, I would have loved to see the season handled almost like a way of. I'm trying to think about if there's any other like Lego sequel recently that I did really like. Like there was a TV series. I know like something with like Andor,
Mm.
but like that's a totally different take. What the fuck do you do with that in the Santa Claus universe? But
Mm.
I think that is kind of the whole idea of like the Office type sitcom, right? That you mentioned is like you get that type of thing going. I think you have it there.
Mhm.
So I think that's really all we got for Show Me the Franchise, which I think gets us into our power rankings, which we're having a little fun with this week. We're gonna call this the top 3 fits. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I feel like we have to defer to the person with the best fit in the studio right now.
I'll go first. We're obviously talking about Rachel.
Yes, I did dress up for the occasion, and this is not recorded, but I wanted to get in the spirit. So I found, or as I said, I borrowed a lovely Santa jacket and hat from a friend of mine. Because again, this series, the season 2 is also all about the jacket, which the first one is too. Like you put on the coat and then you become. Blah, blah, blah. So, okay. Now for this I'm going to name a singular fit or numerous.
Ooh, your interpretation.
Boy, uh-oh. Okay, well, because the genuine, like, honest, favorite outfit that I can think of watching, which I don't think this will be your favorites because it's gendered, but it's the mom, it's the ex-wife in the very first movie when she runs out at the end to be like, he's already on the roof. When the sun comes back, she's wearing this huge, like gorgeous white turtleneck sweater that looks so comfy and cozy
Yeah.
with her power bob, like just like cut so sharp, which is of an era so much. And so I would put that as like one of my very favorite fits. And then second, in terms of like being memorable, there's probably 2. It's like him in his underwear in the boots and the winter coat of the first movie when he like
Yeah.
climbs up on the roof. Like there is something just like so burned in my memory about that look, as well as the green sweater when in the second one when he's talking to his ex-wife and Neil,
Oh yeah.
where he changes again, like he loses his beard in talking to them, and then he's wearing this like wild lime green sweater with all these lines all over it. Those are the 3 that come to mind for me.
Yeah. I dig it. Do you want to go next? Or you want me to go? next?
I was just gonna say the calling out of him in the underwear and the boots. That is a great call. I'm gonna go with these 3. Number 1, and I'm gonna save some for you. I think Bernard's whole outfit is just outrageous.
Yeah.
Looking like Gary Oldman in True Romance with the hair. Then my number 2, I'm gonna say, it's them silk pajamas.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, memorable.
Yeah, those always look so comfortable. It's got the name on them. Number 3, I'm not gonna go with the obvious choice because I wish I would have had to go back and pick the exact one. So I'm just gonna go and say I think it's a really good Santa outfit. It's a great suit.
Yes.
So that'll be my number 3.
I like it. I do like it quite a bit. I will say I am surprised that the one that I thought was going to get called out did not get called out.
I was leaving it for you.
Oh,
Ooh,
thank
let's hear it.
you.
What is it?
Well, of course. It's number 1 for me. It's Judge Reinhold's sweaters.
Oh,
I mean, and specifically, it's the sweater he's wearing when Scott Calvin says to him, "Hey, nice sweater." Like,
Yeah.
like very sarcastically. Like, this thing is the ugliest fucking thing. Like, where did you get this? Like, did you go to a turnaround store and pick up something from 1975? Like, what is this thing? But I really want to know the story of where Judge Reinhold got that. Yeah, I hope it's his own sweater that he had from like something in the 80s. Like maybe they was like something he was picked up when he was filming Fast Times or something. But he is just wearing the most outrageous. Like it's clearly playing on the fact that, it's like, oh, if he's a therapist, like he'll obviously have like very unique sense of style and, whatever, very self, important, but it's just fun. Man, I'm gonna steal the pajama ones too, because those silk pajamas are sweet.
Yeah.
I was like, I would love a pair of those.
Hell yeah.
They look comfy.
Oh yeah.
They look
Classy, comfy.
super comfy. And then number 3, whew, the funny thing is, I ripped on some of like the fantasy characters or whatever. I did kind of think that Father Time's looking comfy in that like robe that he's walking around in. He's got a Gandalf thing going on, and I'm like, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I think all of those scenes felt a little too long to me, but every time Peter Boyle walked on and he was giving me like Noah from Noah's Ark, I was like, all right, I dig it. I was like, I just think the costuming, that's the triumph of this whole series. That's why I even thought of this. I was like, you could, and I'm so happy you guys pick like all these different things. The boots and the boxers is so good. And the Santa outfits do look good too. I don't like his fireproof Santa outfit as much, but I think his like classic Santa outfit, and like
It's a great
especially
classic Santa.
the sequel, he's looking really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that gets us to the end of our episode, guys.
We made it.
We did.
Thanks for listening.
Yes. Thank you all for listening. But before we go, Rachel, is there anything you would like to plug?
Sure. So that was so generous that you called me a comedian. But I do improvise around the Milwaukee area. So I've got a handful of shows every month. The way to stay in touch with that is if you're on Instagram, you can find me there at Rachel Glassford. And then I'm also a co-host on Bad Movies Rule. So if you like listening to podcasts that are funny folks talking about movies, you can find me over there about once a month. Most recently talked about Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter is Dead.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. And coming up, Miami Connection and Space Trucker or Space Trucks. So those are very silly and very fun. And again, that's Bad Movies Rule if you're interested in that. And yeah, I think that is really the like cream of the crop of like that the best way to find me and my improv shows is on Instagram. And then I will just say a little plug because I work in public health. In that the holidays can be a meaningful and warm time for some folks. And if it's instead a hard time for you, that those resources exist if you're having a hard time, like those hotlines for help or things like that, because that's where I work in suicide prevention in my day job. So just a reminder about that for folks.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, definitely. I think you made a great point about that last thing too. It's like, yeah, it's a stressful time. And it's a lot. It can be a lot. So definitely reach out if you ever feel like you need help. Other than that, though, yeah, interchangetheater.com too, right? You're usually there performing.
I'm there as well as Comedy Sports.
Comedy Sports as well. Yes. Just follow her on Instagram. You'll
find me. I'm around.
Fred, what do you have to plug?
I got nothing to plug. I'm just gonna let you plug the show. I'm really bad at when it's December. Like I can't plan stuff for January. It's not January yet. Like we're in like the show booking Discord or whatever. I'm like, I can't think about March or February yet.
That's why I'm on the teams.
Yep. So I'm sure I've got stuff in January, but to be discussed at a future time. Probably the same day an episode airs. That's usually how it goes.
That's fair. That's fair. For me, you can catch me on January 3rd at Puddler's Hall. At night, I'll be doing No Dice. Yes.
That is very fun.
Dungeons and Dragons RPG type show. It's a lot of fun. Great group of people there. Definitely come and check it out. It's gonna be the first show I think they're doing at Puddler's Hall. I've been there myself, so I'm actually excited to go.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
I know. It should be very fun. So yeah, I think you can find more information. You can follow No Dice on Facebook, Instagram. Other than that, you can obviously also follow Show Me the Franchise on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, not on TikTok, but YouTube and Blue Sky. We are also on. We're exploring the new terrain. Join our Patreon for just $1 a month. You can get an exclusive bonus episode per month. Fred, I think next month we are doing not what I have written down, but we have, I think it's like like Oscar favorites. Is that what we talked about?
Yeah, there was some great idea I had involving the Oscars that was so good.
You're really teasing this Patreon episode. I like it.
Yeah.
Something about picking a year or picking something specific, and we'll talk about
It's
it.
like past Oscar favorites. We're kind of
Yeah.
prepping up for award season. So if you guys are
Look back at the Oscars.
Yes, it's a look back, but not the years that we already covered in like 2023, 2024. I think we also did 2022, but I could be wrong. So anyway, check that out. And, I want to give a special thanks to Nick Spitza and Mike Schwantz for opening and closing theme songs. Please remember to rate and review this episode if you enjoyed it. And stay tuned for next time, where we'll be talking about, well, not just talking about it, we're going to be tasting a little bit of something.
Tasting about it.
It is our 5th annual food tournament, and this time we are going to be doing burgers. So those burger franchises. This has been a long talk about. We started talking about this the first year we started doing this podcast. And it's finally happening. Fred is going to be taking the reins on this one, and I know you got some big ideas for what you want to do here.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys stay tuned for that. And thanks again, Rachel, for being here. This was too much fun. And thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
I've got no cares, 'cause all I wanna do is charge my phone and drive listening to you. And what they talk about will always be up to you.
I was early.